All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Coffee Q&A, your daily dose of Coffee Q&A. But it's not been so daily, but now it's going to be daily. We're going back to daily again. I feel good for dailiness. How you doing? What's going on? How was your weekend? Weekend's over. Now we're back to it. Here in Maryland, most kids are going back to school today. And it's not even Labor Day. If you're not from the United States has this thing, the first weekend of September, it's called Labor Day. It's the big holiday that kind of bookends the end of summer. So we start off with Memorial Day at the end of May, which it's the official start of summer, and then it ends with Labor Day. And when I was young, we didn't go back to school until after Labor Day. So for me, it's kind of like, why would you like it? I feel like you're being robbed of summer by going back earlier than Labor Day. Now, in fascist states of America, like Texas, they started in July, like July 8th or something like that. It's like, that's just criminal. You're like incarcerating kids in school year round, just removing their freedoms. They're just not freedom-loving people there in Texas and those red states. They're not very good people. They're very bad people. Right? So what's going on? How y'all doing? Coffee Cove, good morning to you. Kent, hello, how are you? Good to see you. Anton, how's things in Germany? Hope things are well. So today yesterday, let's rewind. Yesterday, I was actually at a gathering for this organization that I help out with. And, it's a Filipino community organization. And so, of course, when we get together, they bring food. And so they had food here. So they had a whole bunch of food and desserts. I was like, you know what? The desserts would be nice to feature here today on our episode. So I brought some here for you to see. So in case you decide or invited one day to go to a Filipino party, or maybe you go to a Filipino restaurant, like you're looking to the menu, like, I don't know what any of these things are, which is normal if you're not familiar with it. This may help you with some of those items. Now, this is certainly not going to be the total breadth of desserts in the Filipino, culinaria, but just a few things that you might be able to see and enjoy, right? So the first thing we have here is we've got this little plate here. Maku, how are you? And this is our plate. So one of the things about Filipino desserts is that, because the Philippines is in Southeast Asia is a very hot, humid region of the world. So unlike here in North America, or let's say in Europe, where it's very temperate zoned, here we have a lot of wheat that's being grown. In the Philippines and Thailand and all those countries, wheat is it's not really great for wheat production. So there's not much wheat products being made. Now, in the Philippines, after the United States overthrew the government at the end of the 19th century and took over the country and forced the Filipinos into, slavery, essentially, without necessarily being slaves, they brought their own culture, they brought their own foods, and so they brought wheat and they brought milk and things like that. So in the Philippines, there's actually quite a big industry of local bakeries making something called pandesal, which is basically a wheat-based flour. But that wheat influence didn't come until the Americans came to conquer the country. So that's part. But historically, it's all rice. So most of the things you're going to find in Southeast Asian cuisine for dessert is going to be rice-based. So that's what we have mostly here. And actually, there's an item that I'm going to show you that hadn't even thought about that was being rice-based, but it totally is. And I was like, all right, so let's have a look here now. So this first plate is what we call, so we've got, okay, so this one is not a rice-based drink, a dessert. This is what we call cassava. Cassava cake is made from the cassava, which is kind of like a root vegetable, a tuber kind of thing. And of course, the basic ingredients for all of these are going to be relatively similar. We're going to have our cassava flour or our rice flour, some sugar, and typically coconut milk. They're going to use some kind of milk, but it's not going to be cow's milk because it's so hot there. Cows just don't do well. Like, cows are super stressed in the heat of the Philippines. So we've got this cassava cake that has a little bit of, sweetened condensed milk on top that they pour. And as they're baking it, as you can see, it's a fairly thick texture. There's a little bit of a shredded coconut from another thing that I had stacked up on it. So that's kind of like A very, very popular. These are all very popular. And then this one here that has a little bit more of a crusty looking texture. Oh, Marcus says cassava equals yuca. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for clarifying that. So you can see this one's a little bit more crusted cooking, right? This is made from rice flour. This is what we call bibingka royale, right? And so the bibingka is just, again, rice flour with sugar and coconut milk, essentially. And this one has a really, like, there's actually quite a few different versions of bibingka depending on the region of the country that you're visiting. Like when I was younger, my mom is from the province north of Manila called Nueva Ecija. And so we would go there during Christmas time, and the bibingka is different than this one that we're seeing here, right? The bibingka there is more like a cake. It's more like this cake here, right? This round cake. And what they do is they take the rice flour, they mix it all up, and they put it in a banana leaf. So it's like a little bowl kind of thing. They shape it like a bowl, not the whole leaf. They cut the leaf out to this size, and they put they make it into a dough, and they put it in there, and they put cheese on top, and they put like a salted egg, and then they bake it over a fire, and it's like a big thing during Christmas time. That's also called bibingka, but a whole different experience. So there's many different experiences with bibingka. This one they technically call bibingka royale, and it is a very, like many rice-based things like mochi and things like that, it's very chewy and very, very nice. You know, Asians tend to like very chewy, gelatinous kind of textures, which is very, very unusual for the Western palate. Like, you know, because I grew up here in America, in the West, you know, with things like hot dog and mac and cheese. Oh, I didn't get to hit the silence. Anyway, so sometimes these allergies, but I don't remember what it is. Oh, yes. So there's different regions of the Philippines, and they have different ways of doing it, and there's different textures. I think that's what I was saying. I no longer remember. Now, this purple one is, you may be familiar with the color purple because over the last 10 years or so, there's a Philippine dessert called ube, right? And ube is a tuber that is kind of like a purple sweet potato, but it's totally a separate thing. It's not purple sweet potato under a different name. It's its own thing, separate than the purple sweet potato. But that's probably the similar thing to do. And you typically will eat that as what we call ube halaya, where they take the ube, they cook it down, and they make it not into like a pasty kind of jam. And then they put it in all kinds of stuff. But lately in American or Western cuisine, the people have been introducing ube, and it's kind of like you find it at Trader Joe's and like a pancake mix and all this stuff. And it kind of resembles ube flavor, something like that. And here's the crazy thing, right? Ube is from, or indigenous to the Philippines. Ube flavoring and ube consumption has exploded across the wider cuisine scene. However, ube production and farmers, ube production in the Philippines has been dwindling. Like, it is like precipitously falling, while ube is being consumed in greater quantities across the world. Now, most of this ube that's been consumed is not from the ube tuber. It's actually from ube artificial flavoring. So most of the stuff that you're getting that says it's ube is artificially flavored. It's total rubbish, right? So don't be, ask them if you go to these restaurants, these cutesy restaurants that are serving, we're making ube this. Did you actually get the tuber and crush it and process it? Or are you just using some kind of flavoring? Because that's some rubbish, right? That's some rubbish. You don't want to be. Well, in modern times with our president, of course it's rubbish. Okay, but and I think this is the same thing, right? The one I'm going to show you next. But this one, you're going to be familiar. This one, it may look familiar for those of you who are from the United States, because this is my friend. She made this. It's basically a Rice Krispie treat with ube flavoring. And I saw this sitting on the table, and I was like, "Is that Rice Krispie?" She's like, "I put a little bit ube in it." I was like, all right, I can deal with that. Like, it's cool. I mean, personally speaking, I'd rather just have plain old Rice Krispies. That's what I grew up eating. So I'm all happy with the plain. It's not bad. It's not bad. But there is a lot of. But now that I look at it, there's a lot of coloring in that. Like, look at that. It's super colored. And Anton says, looks very nice. I got myself a salt pretzel. Oh, I'm presuming that means that it is a pretzel with salt. Is that right? Is that right? Did I understand that right? Well, thank you, Anton. Thank you with the gesundheit. Now, the next thing and the last thing we have is something called that's a little more festive looking, right? It's a little more festive. Again, it's also rice based. Now, if you're interested in these desserts and like learning how to make them or trying to make them, I do have links down below. I found some YouTubers that are making, making each of these, except for the Rice Krispie treat. I didn't put that in there. Maybe I'll look it up. But each of these have a video below. I only briefly looked at the videos. I don't know. I didn't vet them like really well. Like I didn't really watch them all and like, hey, this is like, okay, this is the epic version. I have no idea if they're epic versions. They're from Filipinos, it looks like, and they seem like they're enthusiastic about it. So it'd be worth trying. I don't know. A lot of these are made by people that have been making it all their lives, so they just kind of make it. They don't necessarily have recipes. Okay, so now we're going to go to Pichi Pichi. This is called Pichi Pichi. Pichi, Pichi Pichi. Why is it called Pichi Pichi? I don't know. But as you can see, there's 3 different colors, so it's very festive. There's purple, which we presume is an ube flavor. There is green. For those of you from that know Southeast Asian cuisine, there's something called pandan, and pandan is this like leafy. I really don't know what it is. It's one of those things that like you have that's part of your cuisine, and you've just been eating it pretty much your entire life, but you never really thought about like what is it like. I know that pandan is a leafy vegetable, tree, fruit, plant, something like that, and it's wildly popular in the Philippines. And Southeast Asia, very popular. They put it in all kinds of stuff. They give it like this nice softer kind of like not floral, maybe floral, but it's a pandan flavor. And it's just like if you were to say to someone, "Hey, man, like what's that thing that's got this weird like bright color that's kind of a shade of yellow that you're eating, right?" And you're like, "What are you talking about?" Like that like deeper yellow thing you're eating, and you're like, "The orange? Yeah, man. Like, what does it taste like?" It tastes like an orange, right? Like, how would you describe it? And that, for me, that's kind of the pandan thing. It's like, I've been eating it. I just don't know how to describe it very well. Like, it's a pandan flavor. And sometimes I like it, love it. Like, I'm all into it. And then there's days where I'm just like, oh, I don't want to have any of that. It's got a little bit of a dulling sensation. No, that's not even a wave. I have no idea really how to tell you accurately the flavor, but you might want to try it. So, and then this other one is kind of like the regular flavor, this yellow one, which would be kind of like there is another dish that we make here, very popular. And those of you who speak Spanish might be offended, but it's called puto, right? It's called puto. And this is something puto is a dessert in the Philippines. Now, in Spanish, if you're amongst Mexicans and you're like, "Hey, puto," that's going to be something else. And you're going to get, depending on your relationship with that person, like if they're your really good friend, they might laugh. But if they don't know them, you're some guy, you're walking down the street in LA, you're like, "Hey, puto," right? They're going to get upset. So don't do that. That's not a good thing. So, but puto in the Philippines means a rice cake, right? So again, in puto's case, they take the rice flour, and no coconut milk, rice flour, sugar, and I think water, maybe regular milk if you really want to. And you mix it together and you kind of make this little dough and you steam it. And this yellow one kind of has the flavor of the puto, the regular puto. So, yeah, Marco says, what do you call it? So these are, and of course it has shredded coconut on top, and they're very chewy. They're also kind of like, they have a little bit of like residual, like, I don't know, sugar, I don't know. Yeah, sugary stuff on it. So, but this is all like kind of desserts, chewy, gelatinous kind of desserts that, like, my favorite of all of these is the Bibingka Royale, right? Because you know what? It's got this crust. So if you guys are familiar with Hawaii, and I think I had this on one of the episodes a while back. There's something called butter mochi. This is almost the same thing, right? Like, except without the heavy, but like they don't put butter in this. Like in Hawaii with butter mochi, and you make this pretty much the same way: coconut milk and like rice flour and sugar, and then you put a lot of butter in it, and man, it's just chewy and resistive. Like when you're cutting it, it's really hard to cut. You just try to pull it apart. Like really, when I cut this out of the pan, like part of it, just like this part here, just wasn't going to remove itself. So I'm just pulling on it, and it's a fabulous way to go. Like now, if you don't like to touch your food, that's a whole different thing. But what can you do? What can you do? All right, so we're gonna have this, and we're gonna have these with coffee. That coffee is important. Kent says, is dessert an everyday thing in the Philippines or occasional? I mean, there's always desserts available, and yeah, I would say it's every day, and it's going to be something. Typically, a Filipino may have something simple like this, and maybe like only. And Filipinos are small people, so they only have like one or two. They're not like me that maybe eat the whole tray. So that's not unusual. I don't think that would be considered unusual. And there's so many more desserts that are there that would not fit into this container. Like there's this particular cake in the Philippines called chiffon cake. It's a very light and airy crumb for the cake that's very popular. A lot of Americans and Westerners aren't necessarily wild about it because I think that it just doesn't have like Western palates like more of a dense crumb in cakes, where this is a very light and airy, like think about like an angel food cake, but more airy, like something along that line. And that's kind of what a chiffon cake is like. But I think it's wonderful. I mean, again, I come from a Western background growing up here, so I have this juxtaposition. Sometimes I love the chiffon cake, and we'll tear into it. But like yesterday, I had my friend pulled a slice. So I was like, "Can I take a little taste of yours?" So I just took a little sliver off of her cake, and I just had a piece of that, and that was enough to eat for me. I was like, "Okay, that's good." But then again, there's all this food, so I had already eaten probably more than I should have. So, yeah, that's the case. That's the case. All right, so we're gonna make our coffee to go with this. Now, you don't necessarily. Filipinos don't normally eat this with coffee. I don't think. I don't know. I don't know. I'm from America, so I don't know. I don't know what they do there. And I'm thinking like I think in the Philippines, like if you're there like at a family gathering or like a gathering, right? You're out there, you're having your meal, and then you're eating this. Yeah, like yesterday, like all my friends, they're all Filipino there. So it's like you don't normally make coffee to eat with the dessert because it's weird to like stop and make coffee. It's just weird. Nobody does that. I don't at least not that in my experience, like in my family's experience, like theirs, like. Do we stop and get coffee? I don't know. No, I don't think so. Maybe they do. Maybe some people do. Maybe some of the more fancy, civilized Filipinos there do that. But my barbarianness does not do that. Anton says he likes chiffon cakes. He likes all cakes. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right. So we're going to be using the OXO Rapid Brewer. We're going to use this now. We're going to make this Rapid Brew Week. We're going to use this and try the different ways that you guys have been telling me that we should be exploring for this. Okay, so I'll be honest with you. I started watching some videos for this brewer, and I'm making YouTube videos myself. So this is a very dangerous path for me to walk at the moment. But how do you guys do it? Like I'm watching some of these videos, and I'm just like in pain. It's painful to watch. Like I'm just, oh my God, man. Like who are these guys making these videos? It's so like, now, and I get it. I guess I get it. I mean, my apologies, right? Because I don't mean to piss on anyone's parade, but like, and I come from a different perspective, right? I'm coming from coffee as a working professional, right? And I'm not coming to it necessarily as a YouTuber, making my living on YouTube. Like I don't make a living on YouTube. Like if I had to live on YouTube, I'd be out of business. So but I'm just like, I can't watch. I find it so. I'm sorry, but I do find it so difficult to watch coffee videos. I'm just like, God. Like I'm yelling at my screen. I'm like, oh my gosh! Like, what are you doing here? So, And I think it's because, I've been in the business for a long time, right? So I've been making coffee for a long time. Whereas, like in woodworking, I could watch woodworking videos all day. I am watching it all day and all night because it's complaining about the YouTubers. They're like, those guys suck, and I'm like, I like, and I'm always like, well, I'm enjoying them. I'm learning so much from them, So I'm just like, I'm those guys in coffee, and I'm watching these coffee videos. I'm like, oh. And I'm definitely much more expressive when I'm by myself watching these videos than the way that I'm relating this to you now. But anyway, so we're going to do this. We're going to try some of the different recipes. I watched some of the LV, low pressure, high volume, LPHV, and I watched a soup video. And I was like, okay, so here, tell me this. You guys understand the soup thing more than I do. Like, there's all these terminologies that come out in the enthusiast sphere or the YouTube sphere that I'm just not familiar with. And this LP, the HV, whatever, and the soup. And I was like, you guys were talking about soup last week. And I was like, what is this soup thing? So I looked it up, and I was like, I looked up soup in the context of the OXO. That didn't make any sense. I was like, what are they doing, right? And then I looked up soup. I was like, okay. So then I saw something somewhere that said soup is an espresso thing. And I'm like, okay, so I looked at it. So my understanding is that soup is basically under extraction. Is that, like, everyone's like, and I see people talking about it, and they're like, yeah. And from what they had described, to me, it's just under extracted espresso. So soup, like, it has the texture and, profile of soup. And I'm like, well, that means that you basically, from what you're telling me, from the quantities that you're talking about, the procedures that I saw, I think there's a Reddit thread that I read, it's under extracted espresso. It's basically like light espresso. Am I understanding this correctly? Tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, I'm happy to be corrected. I just don't know. I'm just like, what are these people talking about? Let me catch up with that. Anton says it's wild, though, what the people are coming up with on the Espresso Aficionado Discord. Lots of 3D printed custom accessories for the OXO. Wow, really? I wonder, are those 3D printed accessories, like, do they put them on Thingiverse or something like that, printables? Because I need to, like, work on my 3D printer, and maybe I'll try to make some of those. These guys saw the OXO brewer and started engineering. What are they engineering, though? Like, what is there to change? I mean, this is the part where, like, maybe I've just been in the field for too long, right? So you do something for a long time, and you reach the level of whatever, and you feel like you just become jaded about it. Like, you're just like, oh God, that's just dumb, right? But so I'm very, very cognizant of the fact that maybe I've been in business too long, and I'm just too curmudgeonly and not able to see. Maybe I'm not able to see the trees for the forest for the tree, whatever that saying is, right? Some coffee videos are nice to watch. It depends on how well the person can. I agree. Like, but the one video that I was watching, man, that guy was like, hey, it took a while to get. And and I think there's a difference between a live stream like this, where we're rambling on because it's live and there's no way to edit it, and an edited video. The edited video, cut that stuff out, man. Like, if you make a mistake or like you're doing something that's not relevant, cut that out. Why am I being subjected to click through another 30 seconds of who knows what I'm missing? I'm just clicking through because I'm just like, I can't. It's really terrible. It's really terrible. I mean, I'm really terrible, not necessarily the video is really terrible, right? Anton says you need to have some kind of connection to be able to listen. Agreed. By the way, I have to really pay attention to follow Lance. Okay. And then sometimes it helps to swatch it. I know people do that, and I never think to do that to speed up the video. I mean, especially when I've just got the forward, like the arrow, I'm just like. Coffee Coke says cakes are a favorite dessert, particularly German chocolate cake. Ooh, nice and weighty. One of my good friends, she's actually a a pretty accomplished baker. Her name is Gesina Bullock Prado, and she's based in Vermont. And you might have seen her. Like she does a lot of work with King Arthur flowers, and she's been on Good Morning America so many times now. And she's got this. She read a series of books, recipe, baking books. Her very first one, which was Confessions of a Closet Master Baker. And I ended up being the photographer for the inside dust-covered jacket author's photo because I was hanging out with her one day at her bakery, and I took a photo. And she was like, when she went to publish her first book, she was like, "Oh man, I love that photo. Would you mind if I use it on my book cover?" And I was like, "Yeah, thank you. I mean, it's awesome." And so she has a recipe in that book for a cake that's her favorite, which is a German. Like so, her mother was a very accomplished opera singer from Germany or Austria, Germany, and they're German, and it's a great recipe. Like I was reading it, and I was like, oh my god, I need to make this. This is just look. And she made it at her bakery, so I've had the cake. It's totally fabulous. But if you're looking for additional recipes for chocolate cake, Confessions of a Closet Master Baker by Gesina Bullock Prado, fabulous. And then let's see here. Anton says, I don't even know what is my favorite cake. Maybe rhubarb cake with a nice yeast. Ooh, okay, I like that. Power Plant says, if I hear soup, I think of low clarity coffee. And what is the clarity thing? Can you tell me low clarity? I see these people, I hear these guys on these videos talking about clarity. I'm like, what is the clarity? What is low and what is high? Are we talking brightness or... Anton says, you're sending mixing. And Anton says, I'm going to make soup right now. Are you making up the soup, or are you making like coffee soup? Power Plant says, I prefer high density cake. A low density cake is too easy it's too easy to house and usually has less intense flavor. I agree. The chiffon cake that like Filipinos make doesn't have a very very más fuerte kind of character flavor. It's got a very, but it's huge. Like usually it's so puffy. It's so huge. Like, oh my God, like, can you eat I can't, I don't know if I can eat a lot of it. Anton says, Mamor Kuchen. So Mamor Kuchen is kitchen, right? Kitchen. And then Mamor, I have no idea what Mamor, I have no idea. Clarity is mostly affected by burrs, in my opinion. Okay. Coffee Cove says, I had blueberry chocolate cake recipe that's high density, very filling, and can eat only, I like that. Blueberry chocolate sounds like a delicious way to go. So far, says Anton, XA, which you probably know well, is high clarity burr. EKA. Okay, gosh. We're talking cakes, and suddenly it's like EK, like grinder terminology. Power Plant says, tres leches, milk crepes, and bomb kuchen. Oh, nice. Kuchen is cake. Yeah. And Power Plant's kings, kings as in cake. King cake from Mardi Gras time. All right, let's make some coffee. So because we've got Philippine desserts, I grabbed some Filipino coffees. These are two coffees. I'm just going to choose one, and I don't really know which one I'm going to choose. As you can see, these are like white bags. These are coffees from my dear friend Z, who's one of my producers in the Philippines. These are Philippine coffees made in Bataan. These are, I think, fine Robustas. Now, and so Z is, if you watch the video that I shot with Thomas Sproten, the owner of Coffee Culture in Bacolod, Philippines, I did an interview, more like a talking interview with him. And there's a tiny segment that he talks about Z, who's basically made the greatest coffee the Philippines has ever seen. And she was my producer since 2014. So, okay, I'm biased, but she really is a fabulous producer. So she's working on a project in Bataan with some Robustas. And so she sent me these two samples to try. And I did try some when I was there, and very good. Robusta's not going to be like the Calasan sweets or the Arabicas that are, a little, very clear, nice clarity and better notes, right? The Robustas are are still in the process, I think, of like really becoming something very thoughtful. But the thing is, I don't know what it is about her, but you know, we always talk like she sends me samples, right? And then look at this. Look at this. Here's a big bag. This is a big bag, right? And she's got these cryptic notes here in the corner of both bags. I don't know what these cryptic notes mean. She might have sent me a text and that was like, this is what they are. I'm like, why can't you just put her in the bag? Her and I we always bicker about this, right? It's like, can you just put her in the bag? Like, give me more. Like, I have no idea what these are, right? But I know they're coffee, but so yeah. Anyway, we'll do this one. I don't know because 6 of 1/2 does it. So now we're going to use this. So 20 grams is the normal. So we're going to try this. We're going to try a recipe from it, but I don't know what recipe. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be good or not. We're just going to try it. We're going to try that low VHP QRSTUV recipe. And from what the video that I saw, the guy used 20 grams of coffee, 80 grams of water, and then did this like light pumps. He was like, you can do it in less than 4 pumps, right? Because part of the time he's letting just the water flow through the thing. And it's like, okay, well, you're just letting it drip through, and then you're pushing it. I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna see where it goes. Power says king cake is awful. King cake is awful. What? You're gonna have all of like New Orleans coming after you and like being angry. All right, so let's go here. We've got our scale, our fellow scale, lovely scale here. Okay, that's good. And later this week, we're going to oh, you have to turn it. See, I don't remember these things. Okay, tear it out again. Right? We're going to go 20 grams. Okay, 20 grams. Now, as you can see here with this Robusta, let me zoom in just a little bit more. The Robusta is a much smaller bean. Look at this. You can see the shape of the bean, and these are really pretty. Wow, that's really pretty. They're kind of like, these are to me they almost look like Arabica pea berries. But they're small and they're tight. Wow, they're really even. Now you can see this is a fairly light roast for cupping, so you guys will like that light roasting, just past first crack, and. Yeah, but Robustas are interesting coffees, right? Like when I started in the business 20 plus years ago, you know, everybody was poo-pooing on Robusta because it was it's a rough coffee. It's a rough coffee. It's difficult to use. I mean, it was just difficult a coffee to drink back then. Now that's changed, and that really started to change. There was a producer in India back in like 2007. Nishant Nishant has a farm there, and he was really one of the early people trying to make fine Robustas. And I remember one year he had a coffee that was like, I was cupping it, and I was like, man, this has like tomato. And maybe people wouldn't like tomato, but I was like, oh my gosh, this has such a beautiful tomato flavor to it. And I was thinking, I want to take this. And I want to, and this is during the molecular gastronomy era of cuisine. I was thinking, what if I took this coffee and I encapsulated it and made little tiny tomato coffees? That was really the idea. And I was like, oh, all right. So even though like, and some of my friends, they were like that. It's like tomato, it tastes weird. I don't like that. Yeah, but this is what makes it, to me, I was like, this is what makes it amazing. It tastes like tomato. It's a defect. Oh, God. Maybe. All right, let's grind. So today we're going to go to, should be a relatively fine grind, right? So if we were fully coarse, see, it's getting tight. There should be nothing in between the burrs. And we are going from large to tighter, but why is it tight? Like I can't, it's hard to turn past this point. Now, if I turn it on, Did you hear that? It seized and then spun. What in the deal? What is the deal with this? Like the burrs are supposed to be like we're maximum coarseness, right? It's supposed to be getting closer. Why is it like seizing? I mean, I don't know. Now it's pretty much fully easy to turn. So we're gonna go here. I don't really know where we should go, but because we're pressurizing it, slightly pressurizing it, we're gonna go here to 3. So in case when Naomi comes to watch, Naomi won 3, right? And let's turn it on. Anton says I would turn the grinder on. I would turn on the grinder and change the oil. Normally I would do that. Like let's say on the Maser Major, right? But that's because there's coffee in between the burrs, right? So in that grinder, we're expecting we've stopped it and we're going to go finer. So we're going to bring the burrs together. But since there's already coffee in there, it's making it difficult. We crush that coffee by squeezing it. So if we just turn it on, it blows through, and then we just lower that down, right? But this one, and I think the last time we used it on Thursday, we put the coffee in weighed. It's empty. We put it in weighed. We weigh it and we take it out for the brew. So there should be 0 retention, right? So what is in here? So that's my whole thing. Is like, what is in here that's blocking the burr movement? And we even experienced last week where even here at the wider setting, it was also like seizing. I'm like, what? I mean, I don't know. These are just like little naggly things. Maybe, and again, I'm still doing this when I'm moving it. So maybe this tilting has something to do with it. I get that. I'll try to remember tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I'll try to remember to leave it flat, right? Maybe. Okay, so we did not even grind yet. Back to 3. Turning it on. Anton said there's always a little between burrs, which is temporary retention. But shouldn't it be that I guess there's always going to be, you're probably right, like even though there's 20 grams, if we are, kind of a natural. I think it's a natural. It's got this nice kind of like, actually has kind of like a peanut butter jelly kind of aroma to it. Like, I mean, really, peanut butter and jelly, not just the jelly part from like a natural, but actually the peanut butter too. Interesting. But I get it, because, I don't know why I'm surprised. If we're taking beans and making them into 2 to 3,000 particles, it does stand to reason there would be something left, even though we're getting the majority, or we're getting a full reading on the scale. I get that. I hear you. Peter's with us. What's going on, Peter? And Mom too. What's going on? How are you guys? Good to see all of you. Paraplant says for some clarity will be in how clean the coffee tastes. Okay, but what does high and low clarity mean? Like, does the high clarity mean that it's very clean, and then low clarity it's kind of dirty, muddled? Is that what it means? Objective certainty. What I mean by clarity is the little translucence of the brew. Yeah, that's what I've always thought. When we're always, when my generation of coffee professionals talk about clarity, we're looking at, that kind of clarity. Soup would be muddy and foggy in its transparency. I would think that too. All right, let's go to our OXO Rapid Brew. I did tag OXO in the show notes, so maybe someone from OXO will watch, and, I don't know. I already have the brewer, so there's no need to send me a brewer. All right, so if you haven't seen this before, the OXO comes in 3 pieces. The middle piece where you put the water, the top piece that has the pump that's supposed to give a little bit of pressure. Then there's the lower part that holds your coffee, and this little tamper that is a little bit like irritating to use. And now this one, so all the recipes that I've read, and seen, most of them are using 20 grams, and that's pretty much what the company recommended was 20 grams of coffee. So here's the thing: so OXO says 20 grams, and a lot of the videos that I've seen, like 20 grams. Why aren't you using more? Like I want to put more in here, right? I want to try my AeroPress, my championship-winning AeroPress recipe, because I just want to see, will it work? Right? Okay, but we're going to do this 20 grams low VP H217 brew. So that's 20 grams. Why we have 20 grams? And so we're just going to put that in here. Now, these guys that I saw, some of them were using like paper. Like, are they using AeroPress paper? Is that what it is? Will that fit? That should fit, right? That'll fit. Okay, we're not going to waste AeroPress paper on this. We're going to use the normal thing and see. I mean, we're going to be doing this all week, so we're going to have opportunity to try different things. Today, we're going to do this LVP. What's it called? Low volume, high pressure. To me, that I think of that, and because I'm in this woodworking like mind space, a lot of these woodworking guys that are spray paint, that are spraying on finishes, are using LVHP paint sprayers to do that. Look at that. It doesn't look so light on the monitor, but if you get the light on it, it's fairly a nice light brew. We're just gonna shake it out, get some nice even distribution, and then do the tamping, which this is just poor So I was teaching baristas last week, right? So like it's more exacerbated now because this thing, like look at this, I'm pressing down like this. This is poor ergonomics, right? Like you can't really get in there the way you should because it's obscured. I mean, this is just not even high enough. So it's like this is poor ergonomics, and I get it. This is designed to fit in here so you can close it all together and carry it with you, but this is not. I weep for the future. All right, so we've tamped it down. I've twisted it so to get a little bit of a nice, clean puck in there. There's so much space in here. One of the things I definitely want to try is a basket. We're going to do that later this week. Oh, no. Oh, that's just bad. All this babbling, and I forgot to turn the water on. All right, so we're going to tighten this on. Now we're going to have to wait for the water. So the typical recipe for this is 20 grams of coffee to 160 grams of water. And then you pump it. And the recipes that I've been seeing, this soup recipe, this LVHP recipe, they're like 80 grams of water to 20 grams of coffee. And I think that's the actual serving strength they're using. Is that a good one? I don't know. Popline says, I have mentally decided that the Rapid Brew is too fiddly for me. Cleaning all those components look rather bothersome. I mean, the other day when we were doing it on Thursday and I was cleaning it, it wasn't that bad. I mean, it's no worse than it's really no worse than cleaning this. In some ways, maybe cleaning this is worse because let's say you've got the AeroPress, this clear one, right? Like if you don't dry it and like wipe it down with like a nice like microfiber cloth, right? To make it so you don't scratch it, like you could get spots. And then you look at it, you're like, oh, it's spotty and ugly now. So is it really worse than AeroPress? I don't think so. It's certainly not as easy as like, let's say a conical pour over cone thing that you just kind of rinse and shake and then leave on your drying rack. So if you're okay with cleaning the AeroPress, then this is fine. This won't be necessarily much worse. If you don't like cleaning the AeroPress, you will definitely hate cleaning this. Powerplant wants to know, have you caught Alien Earth? It has lots of semblance to Blade Runner. It is excellent. No, I have not seen that Alien Earth. I will make sure that I put that on my list. I'm still trying to catch up on Obi-Wan from Star Wars. I just downloaded those, and I'm watching. I watched like the first 2 episodes, and I just haven't gone back to it yet. I really haven't taken the time to watch much shows. Like I totally even haven't watched the newest episode from Thursday of Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, and that I'm really motivated to watch. So maybe tonight I'll get the fresh downloads. And then I haven't even caught up on the Chief of War, the one that Kyoto worked on with the tattoos with Jason Momoa taking over the Hawaiian Islands. Actually, he's not the one taking over the Hawaiian Islands. I don't know who's playing the guy that's taking over the Hawaiian Islands. The exec producer also ran the Fargo series and Legion. Oh, nice. All right. And then PowerPoint says, I use a bottle brush to clean the AeroPress and it takes me 1 minute. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to necessarily, like, I don't know if you're doing, I presume that with the bottle brush, you're going through them. Like, maybe you do a little, like, you can't go through like you can with the lower chamber of the AeroPress. I mean, I don't think it's worse. I think it's equivalent cleaning, at least as far as the PETA factor, right? Power plant says, I don't care about spots. Mine looks like some. Right on, man. Right on. Excellent. You do you, baby. You do you. All right. So this is the little carafe that comes with it. And normally it sits on the top, right, when you're storing it, but it goes on the bottom. And there's a slight little spout. Did this work well? No. This worked fine. I'm so confused. Like I was thinking, like earlier, I was thinking about like, what are we going to be doing? And I was thinking, oh, well, we did this. And then I remembered, that we didn't do that with this brewer. We did that with the AeroPress XL. So, yeah. All right, now we're going to take out a scale. Now we're going to use a scale. We're going to tear it out on here. And so we're going to put 80 grams of coffee. Anton says, my PC just crashed, so I missed 5 minutes. Don't worry, you haven't missed. We're still here. You haven't missed anything. We've just been babbling because I forgot to turn the water on. And now we're still waiting for it to come back. So, yeah. This is, and I'm the guy that was just bitching a little while ago about, like, being infuriated by watching YouTubers babbling on and on. And here I am babbling on and never getting to the point of brewing the coffee. So, yeah. There's probably some other guy out there in YouTube land that watches these videos and like, get to the point, you jerk off. It's like, yeah, I understand. I totally get it. Coffee Co says that's about how long it takes to clean the OXO. Really isn't that bad. See, it's not that bad. See, even Coffee Co says it's good. Give it a try. It's and the same price. They're the same price, $40. More moving components to break. Although I gotta say, OXO, and I said this the other day, I've used a lot of OXO products, and I really like their products. Overall, like the kitchen tools that they have, I mean, I just love them. I mean, everyone that I bought, like the peeler, excellent. The can opener, man, that can opener, I was all about that can opener. Like, and I've used a lot of different can openers in in our kitchens, like at the shops and stuff. And at restaurants that we worked in, and they all suck. Like the OXO, that is a sharp tool, man. That is like, it's comfortable, ergonomic. That is something I highly recommend buying for your home kitchen. The OXO Cool Grips, Good Grips can opener, and the peeler is excellent. I don't know about that. I don't think I'm really into like all of the ladles and stuff, even though they have the cool grips, the good grips. I just like thinner, maybe just wooden like spatulas, and then when it comes to like when it comes to like actually rubber type spatulas, man, I just really like the red and white high temperature ones from Vorath. I like those a lot. I would prefer to use those than anything else because you just have like one or two in your kitchen. Like, a lot of people have all these different ones, silicone, and they're cool, right? They're all good, all these nice, pretty ones. But like, I like to have the Vorath high temperature one because then I can just go. It just does it all. I can do it for baking, or I can use it for pastry. I can use it like on the line in a pan. saute pan, whatever I want to do. It's so, to me, it's just readily versatile. Then the other ones also, there's of course with spatulas, there's always different shapes to the spatula. Some have that cup shape. Those have very good uses in like a baking kitchen, but I just want to run between it all and do it all, baby. Do it all. You know what I'm saying? Power Plant says, a couple years ago, I wanted to try something, so I used the same ceramic mug for 365 days without cleaning with soap. Just rinse it with cold water and a couple times after use. I'm scanning through the comments since you wrote that to see where you're going with this. So tell us more about that. 365 days with one cup that you only rinsed. Not that I'm actually. Oh, no difference. Oh, you said no difference. Okay, never mind. Okay. No, yeah, I mean, I think if you rinse it out, you're fine. Like, I mean, how many people? Like, there's generations of people of the planet that did not have Dawn dish soap to clean their stuff. So I mean, they had to clean it with stuff. They just rinsed it out. It's fine. Like, you might get some buildup of like brown, but that's fine too. All right, now we've got. Peter says, I can't fast forward all. Thanks, man. I know you want to. Naomi right now is watching on the replay. She's fast forwarding. She's like, get to the point, dude. Get to the point. You keep talking. All right, so now we're going to put the water on here. And I'm just going to go straight from this thing. Right? It's should be relatively cool. Right? So 80 grams is what we're looking for. Let's go here. 80. Water has already started to come through the filter. 81.3, we went over. It's going to throw it off. What are we going to do? I don't know. All right, so here's pressing down gently because we want low volume and high. I don't know why. Maybe it should be low volume, low pressure because it's a low pressure. Or maybe it's LPH. Who knows? I don't understand. Low pressure, high volume. Maybe that's what it is. So 1. Oh, we're already getting air. That was all air. And that took, I don't know how long. We're done. That was it. Oh, low volume, high pressure, right? Low pressure, high volume. This is maybe high yield. Maybe it means that it's high clarity, right? I don't know what it means. I don't understand these things. These are all like newfangled things. Okay, so this has not so clear. So to our point about clarity, that's not so clear, right? It's very cloudy looking. Is this even good? Is this all I'm supposed to be making? Like, am I not supposed to bypass it or something and get more volume? This is it? This is my entire experience here? Power Plant says you guys are you guys, there are way more things to clean on the OXO. Oh, you mean there's more things to? Well, what is there to clean? There's just the or unless you're taking apart the plunger, right? Cleanup can be a deal breaker, says Anton, for me too. In the mocha pot is the mocha pot. Anton asks, "You've never done something?" We have done something. Last summer we did mocha pots. Like when I was staying at my brother's house and we were doing live streams there. We did the mocha pot. We could do more. We'll do more mocha pot. Maybe after this week, after OXO week, we'll do mocha pot day. Maybe not a week of mocha pot. I don't even know what I would do with like. I don't even understand. I don't even know mocha pot well enough to do like 2 or 3 types of brews on it. But we'll do one. We'll do that. Coffee Co says the OXO pour-over brewer was dangerous. A complete. Oh, okay. Maybe not. Maybe not all OXO. Okay, maybe not all OXO. Just the. What do you call that? the peeler, and the can opener. Those are excellent. Those are awesome products. Awesome products. Oh, and you know what's also kind of fun to use is the pizza cutter. That's pretty good. Okay, the portable brewer. Okay, that sucks. That sucks. The top would not stay put and slide. Oh yeah, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. Power Plant says you should try the Dream Farm Fluicer. Whoa, it's a citrus. Citrus juice. Okay, Fluicer, like fluid juicer. Gotcha. It's a citrus juicer and kicks ass. Okay, nice. Okay, that's quite a strong. Okay, we will have to look that up. It uses a different convention for squeezing the citrus. Oh, nice. Anton sees an accident coming. A few days ago, I knocked over my Pulsar brewer. Oh yeah, that would be a mess. That would be a mess. And Peter says, I'll watch the accident replay on half speed. We've had accidents on here. You probably have gone back. And I'm surprised you haven't released, taken those clips and made, shorts out of them to make, to get millions of views and line your pockets. Anton says, this doesn't look right. Wait, this doesn't look right, or your soup was not? But you said your soup is success. Ethiopian natural, I get a strong notes of cassis. I don't know why I'm saying it that way, which I didn't have on the profile. Oh, nice. Americans don't know what cassis is. Cassis is the licorice kind of thing, right? Now I smell licorice in mine. No, mine has more of a nutty character to it. So again, this is a Philippine Robusta, fine Robusta, cultivated by my friend Z, who is a producer there. And this was from the Bataan region, which is actually very, well, I don't know. Bataan has mountains. Like in Mariveles, it's mountainous. So I don't know what I think, but I think this is lower elevation growth, like under 1,000 meters. It's very thick. Oh, black currant. Oh, see, I'm American. I don't know. Don't listen to me. All right, we're going to bypass because that's not pleasant. Who drinks that? Who drinks that and think that is nice? We're going to. I just added I just guesstimated equivalent amounts of water to the current volume. That's better. Let's go a little more. So 20 grams should be 10 ounces. Oh, that's better. All right, we're going to stay there. We're going to try that. That's a little bit nicer. Oh, getting crazy black currant. Nice. I'm thinking of going back to the Philippines, says Peter. You should go to the Philippines, man. It's good times. Good times. I don't know what you're into, but it's good. It's good. And there's good specialty coffee shops there. Like they're really into it. They're really into coffee. So you can get some nice quality coffees. And now in the Philippines, there's some places you can go and get some really interesting Philippine coffees because now there's much more cultivation than there was 10 years ago. So, or at least more thoughtful cultivation where people are really trying to produce high quality coffee. All right, let's try some of these desserts, right, that we have from these Philippine desserts. Again, this is the cassava cake, Bibingka Royale, the ube Rice Krispie treat, and then we have our, the festive one, the Pichi Pichi, right? The Pichi Pichi is a very festive, 3 different flavors, kind of a puto flavor, pandan flavor, and a ube flavor. So we're going to try that with our coffees to see how what's good. Philippine coffees, Philippine desserts, so it all kind of like go together. Power Plant says the currants were made illegal in the U.S. Really? Are they? Really? Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah. Oh, to cultivate. Oh, interesting. Peter says it's cascara. Wait, I'm lost now. Need to go like 1 to 3. I think we're close to 1 to 3, aren't we? I don't know. Maybe. Peter says, I think. Oh yeah, here So they say if you go to Cebu, you should go to a place called Carcar City. Carcar City is evidently the epicenter of lechon, which is the roasted pig. You should go there and let us know because It's about at least a 45-minute drive from Cebu City. And I was only there for a day. And so the chefs that I met, they were like, yeah, if you want the really good lechon, go to Car City. And I was like, how far is that? And it's like 45 minutes to 3 hours. And I was like, one way. I was like, oh God, that's too far. Now, had I known that my 5 o'clock flight on Philippine Airlines to Manila was going to be pushed to 1 a.m., I would have gone. So yeah, that's my only suggestion. And there's a couple of videos that I made that are from Cebu City that are visiting Tightrope Coffee and this Tito Gotong's cafe, which I don't remember the name of it at all. But those are live on the channel. You can see those. By now, Tito has opened his new cafe that wasn't open at the time that I was there. They were renovating it, and but Tightrope was good. Like actually, Tightrope was very good. Like the cake that I had there was excellent. The coffee was Tim Wendelbo's coffee, which is solid. I mean, superb. It was superb. It was delicious. My only problem with that video was that, you know, for the cake that I had, man, it was like an 8-ounce serving. So it was like I ran out of coffee. I'm like, oh, I'm running out of coffee. This is the worst. I'm running out of coffee that I'm enjoying with a cake that I'm enjoying. Oh, it was a Basque type of cheesecake. Delicious. The coffee, delicious. Just not enough coffee. I need like 12. I would have gone for 16 ounces of that coffee. I'd be like, pounded it down, right? The only downside for me for Tightrope is that it's all concrete. Everything is concrete, hard surfaces. So it's loud. Like, I mean, the din is like, to me, I'm old, so it's loud. I'm like, oh, not in my backyard. So let's try the Pichi Pichi, the ube style. Now you can see this is very easy to cut. It's also probably the most moist, the most like wet of them all, and it's sticky. Very ube flavored. I mean, this ube is of course going to be flavoring, so it's very forward. And the way they make the Pichi Pichi, it actually has more texture. Like there's almost as though you could feel like you're eating. Like it's almost like there's like you're eating the actual kernels or of rice kernels. Good. Now let's go to the cassava cake, the yuca cake, with a little bit of the sweet condensed milk that's on the top here. This one is a lot more dense. Like this is super dense. Like it's super dense and like kind of not hard, but almost getting hard. Like you're biting through it and like, you're getting like I bit through it and it's a clean cut, right? Now this one, a bit milder in flavor, and so Philippine desserts aren't necessarily very sweet, like heavy sweet, very mild. So basically, if you imagine like you took like yuca, like if you go to the Peruvian restaurant, you get the fried yuca, you take it, you peel the fried part off and you mash it, and then you mix it with coconut milk and sugar. That's essentially what you have. And then you bake it. It's very good. And then my favorite is the Bibingka Royale. This thing, the Bibingka, the rice cake. Now this one is going to be gooier, chewier, more like mochi than the rest. Right? So it takes a little more force to cut through, a lot more resistive. But as you can see, it's kind of jiggly. Like that, it doesn't like I can compress it and it's going to rebound, right? And I'm kind of giving some force there. So let's give it a taste. This really is my favorite one. It's got light sweetness. It's like eating very soft and big gummy bears, right? Just like chew. But it's not like if you eat gummy bears, right? Like imagine a big gummy bear. So gummy bears are kind of hard, but imagine a very soft gummy bear. Imagine the gummy bear being like this big, and you're chewing on it. Like the gummy bear, you would chew, but it would give you a lot of resistance. Like you would not be able to bite through the gummy. This one, I'm gonna get another bite to describe it. Like as I'm biting with my molars, like there's resistance, and then there's a little like give where you can bite through it. So that's a very like, for me at least, it's a very rewarding like chew experience, and it's lightly flavored and a little slightly sweet, and got some riceness to it, right? And so if you were to make this as butter mochi, if you put butter, infuse it with butter like we do in Hawaii, and make it into butter mochi, oh god, so good. And this is very good too. Oh, it's all good. Actually, now that I'm eating this, I'm thinking I should have taken a larger piece because nobody was really taking it. So I was like, I should take the larger one, but I was like, gosh, I wanted to fill this with different desserts, right? I was thinking I really should have filled one. I should have taken another one and filled it completely with this, because I would have just sat here after the show and just kind of nibbled away. But I also love the darker end, right, where it's all kind of like harder. It's not crisp or anything like that. It's still very like, but it's just more texture. And let's go back to the Pichi Pichi, right? So the Pichi Pichi, we're gonna go here. Now here's the thing, like my fork is a little bit dirty. So if you're eating Filipino desserts at a party and you've got a few of them here, don't be afraid to like leave your fork dirty. Like sometimes you want to be like, I gotta make sure it's clean, so I have a clean. Forget it. Filipinos, we just eat. So we take the Pichi Pichi. We're gonna take the pandan one, right? The pandan. Now you can eat the whole thing if you want. And so a lot of times you'll get like, sometimes people may have like extra shredded coconut. So you the Pichi Pichi, you want to put more coconut, like you want to have coconut as much as you can on. Now, if you don't like, and actually, I never liked coconut when I was growing up. So it's kind of weird that I like it now. And I didn't like tomatoes either. And I didn't like coffee. But, so a lot of coconut. What the heck? Oh, what's going on here? All right, that's the second time that has happened. And I don't know what the deal is. Like this camera, so we're past an hour. Oh no, it's running for longer than an hour. And for some reason, this second time it's happened. It shut off. And we've had longer streams where it wouldn't shut off. I don't know why it shut off. Sorry, I don't know where it went off. Life is too short not to enjoy what you like. Bye, camera. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, it turns off. Anyway, I don't know where I left off, but that was the Pichi Pichi. So this is the pandan. And I said, if you're eating it, get a lot of. If they have extra, get as much of the coconut as you can. And then now finally, let's do the last one, which is the puto's flavor, the normal flavor of the Pichi Pichi in the yellow. That is the yellow. We want as much as we can get. That's lovely. Yeah, there's definitely, so with the Pichi Pichi has more texture. Like if you like gritty texture, pebbly texture to your dessert, that's what that offers. Where these are very smooth and like bitey. Now the last one is the American one, the Rice Krispie treat. Now this was in the refrigerator overnight, so I don't know how well it's gonna turn out. But like I like Rice Krispie treats not refrigerated and crisp. I like it crisp. I'm really kind of, but you know, this is so my friend made this, Jen. She like put ube flavoring in it. You know, Filipino, so you want to put ube flavoring. Me, I don't necessarily. I don't. When it comes to Rice Krispie treats, I don't necessarily need flavoring. I just need it. Oh, still good. So if you're not familiar with Rice Krispie treats, puffed rice cereal. So Rice Krispies here in America are puffed rice cereal. So everything is rice. Everything is rice. We're very Filipino in this rice thing. What you do, you go to the store and you buy a bag of marshmallows and a stick. And so you bring that home. You take a stick of butter in a pot, melt it down, overheat, add the marshmallows, the whole bag, the 16-ounce bag or whatever, the 8-ounce bag, whatever it is, melt that down, add the Rice Krispies to it, like the whole bag or half the bag, I don't remember. Stir it all together, and then it comes together. It's beautiful. It is an encapsulation of America. All the beauty and all the bad, like because it's not healthy by any means, like marshmallow and butter, and you're eating mass quantities of it. But I love it. I love it. I'm so glad that we didn't live in the 1800s before this was invented, because man, this is the pinnacle of civilization. Anton says, I like Haribo Gold Bears, but I'm not consuming them anymore because they're crypto. Yeah, they are. Haribo is nice, but like a lot of the gummy bears are really, really hard. Like, I want it to be softer, more like jellies. How about jelly bears? Jelly bears would be nice. And Power Plant's food textures are, yes, exactly. I totally agree. Like, and I think that's why I think a lot of Westerners, myself included to a lot of extent, find things like Bibingka and like mochi and things like that to be weird because we're so into this gelatiny kind of thing. This kind of like it's a texture that's unusual to the American or Western palate, right? The idea of like boiling tendons. Tendons are a woodworking thing. Tendons are the joint material. The idea of braising that down to the point where the tendons are soft and gelatinous, or sea cucumbers. That's weird. Like, I mean, I get it because I grew up here, so I'm just like, when I first started trying it or hearing about it, that's weird. One thing I have not been able to get into though is the stinky tofu. Like my friend, when I was in okay, that's the second time this thing has acted up. I might have to go start looking into what's going on with the camera. Maybe take it down to the service center and have it out. Actually, a friend of mine is a rep for Sony, so I'm going to call him up and be like, hey man, what can you do for me? I'm a YouTuber. Can you send me a new camera? But yeah, like I was saying, so a lot of these foods are very different for the Western palate. And I totally get it. Like, I mean, I grew up in America, so. What's that symbol on your chat? The crown? I don't know. Oh, Yeah, I've started seeing that on other live streams that I participate in as a viewer. I don't really understand what those are. Very chewy. Pepperland says, I slowly learned to enjoy the goopy texture that is so popular. Yeah, it takes when you grow up here in America, it takes a while to get used to it. It can be challenging for most Westerners. It's like slimy goo. Agreed. Food like natto have a slime mold that surrounds the soy. Yeah, that is weird. Even like when we were doing the natto espresso thing, that was. I haven't eaten the rest of those nattos. Like there was a pack of 4 or maybe a pack of 6. I still haven't eaten the rest because while I'm not against it, there's still a part of me that is like slightly weirded out by it. I'm like, I don't even know if I like it. Anton says, since I stopped eating Haribos, my teeth issues drop by. Like, oh yeah, you should definitely stop eating. If you're having teeth issues, definitely that's a good thing. No gummy type foods anymore. So is it starting to come out of the your like root beds? Powerplant says, but grated mountain yam is super slimy. Oh, I've not had that. And there's a type of udon where they top the noodles and with grated mountain yam. And is the grated mountain yam the kind of like the white stuff? I've seen that. I've never tried it, but I've seen it. And Stinky Tofu says, Peter killed the webcam. It probably did. Because like I said, I was in Taiwan. I went down to Taichung to visit a friend of mine who owns onocoffee. He took me out to dinner. And man, he was like, you got to try the stinky tofu. And I tried it. I tried it. I really did. I was like, I wanted to like it. But it was too extreme. So this is actually, it was like 10 years ago. It was too extreme for me. I'm still willing to try it again. Oh, it was extreme. Like if I go to Iceland, I'm willing to try that shark, that like fermented shark or salted shark, whatever that shark is, the one that's like supposed to be like super pungent. I'm willing to try that. It's called the Tororo Udon Soba. Okay, and it's Peter says stinky tofu. Yeah, definitely not. But I'm sure kids must like it there. And then Peter Powerplant says, in my experience, Chinese kids love fried stinky tofu. Fried might be kind of fun. I could go for fried. We want to try fried. Cassava. And the coffee, nice. So if you have thoughts about the coffee, like not this coffee, but like the different methods to make the OXO, let me know. Tomorrow we're going to start doing a little more serious with the OXO. So I'm going to get one coffee that we're going to use for the entire week so that we have like a baseline coffee to work with to get a better, and to see like how much of a difference are these really making? Like, I see the videos that I watch, they're using super precious coffee to make this. And I don't know. I'm just like, I think sometimes that maybe some people put too much thought into making coffee. Like it doesn't need to be that. Like the guy that I was watching was talking about the HLVP or whatever it was that we were using today. And he's talking about the one bar, like he talked to like the guys at OXO and they told him a tidbit that like this pressurizes to 1 bar. And like, he's like, I think that there's so much pressure. He's saying there's so much pressure happening inside this thing. And so, yeah, we're going to work on it. I'm going to work on more this week to see, just to try different things, right? To try different recipes. And yeah, that's what we're going to do this week with this OXO brewer. So yeah, there's more to come. And this camera, I don't know. I'm actually, now that this is the 3rd time that it's happened here, I'm actually going to go from I'm going to shut down and then go straight to the camera store to see what they can do about it. So, if you get the soup right, you should be amazed. Trust me. All right. Well, if you know the soup recipe, send me a message and let me know what that recipe is, because to me, it's the same thing. Like I watched the soup recipe from this one guy, and he's like, it's the same 20 grams coffee, 80 grams water for this LVHP. And then when he did the soup, it was like 20 grams and 80 grams. And instead of this, like, I'm going to go really slow and gentle, he's all like, what the hell's the difference? Like, what? Okay, tell me. I'm interested to know. I'm open. Even though I may sound like I'm not open and I'm frustrated and irritated by all of this cutesy stuff, I am open. What's the stream schedule? It's going to be daily now, 10 a.m. Back again tomorrow. So there it is, right? Now that I feel relatively recovered from my odyssey of bubiosis and near certain death. All right, so back again tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern time. More OXO and more brewing and a steady coffee. So I hope you have a wonderful day out there. Good night. Have pleasant dreams and all that kind of thing. Or a beautiful day if you're here. So until next time, Kent, Power Plant, Anton, Peter, all of you guys. Good to see all of you. And see you next time.